Hello, I'm Nikita Morell, a copywriter and marketing strategist for architects, and welcome to day 30 of 30 architecture website fixes in 30 days. Yes, it's the final day. Today's fix is a very important one, hence why I saved it until last. But seriously, I suggest you close all your other tabs to resist temptation and pay full attention. Today I will share with you why you need to position yourself as a trusted, respected, and real expert in your niche, so that you can start picking and choosing which projects you want to work on, rather than having to work on with whatever comes through the door. It's a scary fix, but trust me, if you implement it right, you will stop attracting clients that beat you down on fees. No more being price shopped. You can start calling the shots. Okay, let's jump right in. So one surefire way to escape the commodity trap is to be seen as the expert. People are willing to pay more for an expert. Just think about when you go to the doctor. You'll gladly pay more to see a heart specialist than a GP, right? So in marketing speak, this is all about positioning. You need to position yourself as the expert in the mind of your prospective client. It's about creating an association between your practice and one thing. So when a project comes to the table, your practice is the first to mind. Okay, here's a framework I made. So I wanted to show you this. Okay, so here you've got, on the left-hand side, you've got stand out. So you need to stand out, and this is how you look, feel, and sound. It's about your brand identity, your brand style, your logo, your fonts, all that, as well as your brand voice. So how you communicate yourself and the brand personality. And what this does is it creates a distinction, so it sets you apart from all the other architects out there. Then on the other side, you've got stand for something. So be known for one thing. So this is your area of expertise and your value proposition. What value do you add? And what happens here is you create association between your practice and one thing. And then when these two things overlap, you have this beautiful sweet spot and you become unforgettable. So when a project arises, your practice is first to mind. And what this does is it creates visible expertise. So all of a sudden people know who you are, they recognize your practice, and they also know that you stand for something. So they know that you're an expert in one thing. So how do you pick your one thing? Well, it's tricky, but perhaps you can start with asking yourself these three things. Number one, what do you enjoy doing? What clients, projects, what generally makes you happy? What do you like working on? Number two, what are you good at? It's much easier to leverage your strengths and what you're actually good at than improve weaknesses. And number three, what has profit potential? Don't forget, you need to bring in those dollar bills. So at the end of asking yourself these questions, you can then decide what you want to be known for. And remember, it doesn't have to be a typology. It could be your process or your design philosophy or the way you approach projects, your ideation, your brainstorming, or perhaps you're very client-focused and client-centric. So remember, it doesn't have to just be multi-rares, commercial, we specialize in this. Think a bit outside the box. And then remember, translate this one thing and what you're good at into your brand messaging and communicate it very clearly on your website. And look, I know it's a bit of a mindset shift, but I promise you it's worth it. Here's an example. So here we've got Powder Flower Architects homepage, and as you scroll down, you're met with a beautiful tagline. It says, "We are specialists in creating aged care and community living spaces that celebrate life." Perfect. You know exactly who they are and what they specialize in. And as you move through their site, everything is aligned to this area of expertise, the projects, and then they've got this really great news section, society and depression, refurbishment and mental health, really great articles, again, all about this area of aged care. And don't forget, having a specialization like this is also really good for your Google search as well. And look, I know architects often get scared they will lose clients and close doors on opportunities if they don't offer everything. Think about it this way. If you're the expert, then clients are going to start to seek you, which means you can start paying and charging higher fees. And look, it's important to note, I'm not saying you can't work on other projects. You most definitely can. It's just outwardly facing, you project yourself as an expert in one thing, and it will help you attract the right clients and filter out the ones you just do not want to work on. So when you're looking at your website, I want you to ask yourself the following questions. Number one, will a prospective client that's on my website be convinced that I'm an expert in my specialty? Number two, am I packaging my services in a way that will command a premium? And number three, does my architecture website provide useful content that addresses my prospective clients' needs and fears? So again, it's all about meeting your prospective client, telling them you're an expert in this area, and then for them to create that association. Just want to show you this example. Now, this is something I see all the time, and I'm not saying that it's terrible, but I'm just saying that you're not going to be seen as an expert if you do this. So Nick Bell, it's beautifully written, there's nothing wrong with it, but if you just read through it, we are committed to design and architecture that is both innovative and functional. We view each project and all that it encompasses, site, brief and budget, as a unique and individual opportunity to explore the potential of design. It goes on. What happens is it's just so general. It's not really saying what they are experts in. And I'm sure they're amazing at one thing, but again, it's not communicating that appropriately. You could just slap on another architect's logo here and it could make sense and you wouldn't know the difference. So there's no real insight into who they are. Again, there's not much personality. And again, I want to reinforce, you don't have to pick a typology, but your thing could be design process or what you stand for, and this should be interwoven into your about page, at least. Now, here's another example, Nightingale model. These guys are killing it. They're doing such a good job. And the reason is that they have really positioned themselves as an expert in advocating a new social architecture model for multi-res housing in the cities. And as you move through their website, everything is supporting their expertise in this area. So as you can see, they've got little visual icons. Why do we need the Nightingale model? They've got a beautiful diagram that really sums up what they stand for. So again, they're not saying we do everything for everyone. They're saying this is what we do and this is what we stand for. So they're going to attract the right types of clients that want the same thing. And also, just to note, their language is very accessible on this website. Almost anyone can just read it and be like, I understand, even if they're not in the realm of architecture. So now I want you to ask yourself this: how do clients really know you're the best? The answer: they don't. They don't conduct extensive research and surveys. In all honesty, they look and see if they like it, but they're not qualified to say you are the best. So really, it's up to you to create that perception and say you're the best. So how do people recognize you're a really good architect? Well, there's a few ways. So here are 5. 1, you look at the price. If you're charging more expensive prices, then prospective clients assume that you're better, that idea of that value-price relationship. Number 2, if you've been written about or interviewed or seen in the media, then they automatically assume that you must be better and expect to pay a high price. Number 3, if you have a beautifully branded website, so if everything you do is quite professional, your images are beautiful and you've got that look and feel, again, they'll think, okay, these guys are good. Number 4, if you've written a book, you want to deal with an architect with pamphlets, or do you want to deal with an architect that's written a monograph? Please note, I'm not saying that you need to do all these things. I'm just saying these are some of the signals that prospective clients might be picking up on subconsciously to assess that you're the best. And number 5, speaking events, seminars, educational materials. So they've seen you on judging panels or they've just seen you in the public eye. So yeah, there are 5 signals that clients can judge whether you're any good. The key thing to remember is beyond all that is it's all about perception, and perception is reality. So just remember, when you're doing your website, think of that one thing and then have everything in your communications pointing to that one thing. And I promise you, it will be a real game changer. So there you have it. I've now completed 30 architecture fixes in 30 days. And I would genuinely love to hear from you. So if you have implemented or are currently implementing any of the fixes, or even if there's just another fix that you thought I should have covered and I haven't covered and you'd like to know a little bit more about, then please send me an email, hello@nikitamorel.com. And I want to say genuinely thank you for tuning in. I really do believe architects are brilliant, and that's why I'm making it my mission to help as many of you as possible. And if you know you need to fix your website, but you just don't know where to start, or you just don't have the time or brain power right now, then again, please send me an email and we can set up a time to chat. And if you haven't already, download my free guide that's on my website, www.nikitamorel.com. It's called 5 Mistakes Architects Make on Their Website and How to Fix Them. So it's a really good visual guide, and it kind of summarizes everything that I've been speaking about over the last 30 days. And just a final note, I just want you to keep fighting the good fight, architects. And even if you want to say hi, as you know by now, I'm here to help you. So definitely send me an email, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks for tuning in.